22 minutes past 10 Central Africa time as part of a series of conversations that we are having here on the Move in the lead up to the Kenya next month. That is the 2024 Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit that will be taking part in Kenya. We are still speaking to Monday Otoman, Group Head of ERM and Compliance at Waika Reinsurance. Really important conversations that you had, and we spoke a little bit about some of the challenges that the reinsurance market is undergoing, and one of those, Monday, is climate change. I mean, we do understand that no summit these days can take place without understanding the potential risks of climate change. Could you tell us what effects that climate change can have on the reinsurance market?
Thank you very much for that question. I think some decades ago, climate change seems to be a distant discussion, but today it's something that is very prominent even within the African space. You look at the frequency and severity of flooding, of drought, of all kinds of cyclone. So you see that even for the reinsurance market, climate change undoubtedly has become something that is a pressing challenge that we face today. So, and given that the reinsurance is one of the entities that support the payment of claims. So, when you look at the frequency and severity of the natural disasters leading to higher claims and greater financial exposure for insurers and reinsurers alike, so it's becoming increasingly important for the reinsurance players such as Waika Re to focus on how to create the responsible mitigation strategies to ensure that the impact of climate change is actually minimized. So, having said that, it's about integrating ESG principles into our operations to ensure that we are able to provide climate solutions. For instance, we have the parametric insurance, we have climate-related policies to protect policyholders against some of these eventualities. So the impact on the reinsurance market is in twofold. It creates both opportunities and it also creates challenges. The opportunities are there when we develop, to enable us to develop climate-related solutions, and the challenges are there in terms of higher frequency and severity of claims. But all the same, the reinsurance sector is playing a role in supporting a sustainable future for Africa. Thank you.
You know, the reinsurance market is really growing on the African continent. It's funny that we as laymen don't really we think so much about insurance, and so many Africans are in fact over-insured, but we don't think that insurance also needs insurance. And because of this particular growth, regulatory support is very important, and understanding the regulatory framework of our various countries here in the African continent. Could you give us, maybe an example of how some regulatory issues can sort of stunt the growth or the potential growth of the reinsurance market in Africa?
Okay, thank you. I think that is a very interesting question. Now it's about the African Union. When I say African Union, not in terms of the geopolitical body, but in terms of the ability for us to collaborate. So when regulators create protectionist policy, that may tend to stunt the growth and the collaboration across the different geographical divide. So we are craving, for an open space within the different African countries, so that there is this cross-border collaborations, so that entities, the different economies are able to transfer risk across the different jurisdictions. So that we encourage a better spread of risk instead of risk. Imagine the cyclones in the eastern part of Africa is easily transferred. The risk or exposure is easily spread across the entire Africa. So that will improve the economic fortunes of those countries within those regions that are suffering from those kind of natural disasters. So it's about the regulators supporting this shared value initiative by creating an open forum such that risk can easily spread across the African continent, and thereby the spread of risk is encouraged. And with spread of risk, there is high diversification of risk, and which ensures that any reinsurance sector, any reinsurance entity such as Waikari that is playing in a particular region is able to spread risk across the entire Africa and thereby minimizing exposure. So it's about creating an enabling regulatory environment, not just in a particular country, but across the entire African space, such that we do not have protectionist policies that discourage collaboration across the different reinsurance value chain. So with that, we have a more robust, sustainable African business. Thank you.
All right, we do need to wrap it up Monday. It is less than a month now to the Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit in October, and there will be quite a big focus on the pivotal role of reinsurance on the African continent and its growth in the market. What are you most looking forward to in the market, and what can we look forward to from Wianca Reinsurance at the Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit?
Okay. Thank you very much for that. What we always say in Waikari as part of our focus, when you look at our vision statement, is actually driven by the need to develop and provide a diversified reinsurance capacity to enhance economic and financial development in Africa and beyond. So it's about the need to diversify and to collaborate. So imagine we shift the focus from competition analysis to collaboration analysis, that every other part of that ecosystem within the insurance sector, we are able to collaborate and to integrate ESG into our operation. We are going to see greater opportunities emerging.
Are you still there, Monday?
Forward.
All right, we'll need
part
to.
Of what want to drive.
Monday, unfortunately,
Okay.
we have to wrap it up there. I'm sorry, we're also starting to lose you there. Thank you so much for your time, and we're looking forward to engaging further at the summit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for.
That's the group head of ERM and compliance at Wianca Reinsurance, Monday Otomwen, giving us our first of a series of conversations where we'll be speaking about a really important summit taking place in the month of October. That is next month, where, Channel Africa and On the Move will be participating. That's the inaugural Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit. 10:31 Central Africa time. Let's get our latest business news.
Business News.